Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys how I cleared Great Lakes Institute of Management, also how I got shortlisted for their PGDM Core program, and how I converted this call via profile based round. So yeah, before starting my video, I request you all to subscribe to my channel because recently I converted BIMTech Noida and also I gave IIT Dhanbad's interview. So in my further videos, I'll be sharing my PI experience for the same. So yeah, let's start the video. Okay, so before sharing my PI experience with you guys, I would like to share my profile. It's 997 and I had various awards and achievements at national level. I did various internships during my graduation. Also, I had volunteered at several NGOs. So I think involvement in such extra co-curricular activities could be one of the main reasons for getting a profile based call. Okay, so coming to PI experience, there were two panelists, and I think in my case, most of the questions were being asked from the panelist one itself. So, coming to the first and the most basic question that was being asked from the panelist one was tell me about yourself. The second question they asked was being followed up from the introduction itself. That is, they asked me for which all things my city is famous for. Because in my introduction, I had mentioned the city from where I belong to. The third question they asked me is why MBA. So, just unlike others, I tried to answer it in a very unique way. For example, I tried to frame a story and then align the answer with why MBA. The fourth question they asked me is what all problems I faced during the tenure of my internship. So the same question was followed up from the introduction itself, because in my introduction I had mentioned all the internships I did. So here I felt that most of the questions were being followed up from the introduction itself. So here I would advise you guys to prepare very wisely and carefully your introduction. And the fifth question they asked me was from my graduation subjects. So I did my graduation in Bachelor's of Commerce. So they asked me what is repo rate, what is working capital. So here I would advise you to prepare the basics of your graduation very thoroughly and very carefully. Okay, so now coming to panelist 2, there was only one question that was being asked from me from panelist 2, and it was what all values I can add to Glim. So I tried to answer it in a very unique way. For example, I divide the question in two ways: the values I can add inside the classroom and outside the classroom. So I answered the question of what values I can add to Glim inside the classroom in such a way that I said I possesses the leadership skills to which I can showcase inside the classroom during my B plan contest, during my presentation. So you guys can figure out a skill and hence frame your answer, the value you can add to Glim inside the classroom. Now, when it comes to outside the classroom, I simply mentioned that since I had been volunteering in several NGOs since my graduation, so to which I can also add the value to Green Committee of Glim. So, how I come to know about Green Committee? Why I specifically mentioned about the Green Committee? So basically, I thoroughly researched about the societies of the Glim, and I tried to connect any of the society of Glim to my specific answer, because it shows that yes, you have thoroughly researched of the college and how enthusiastic you are about college. So in order to in order to make yourself apart from others, you can frame your answers in such a way that it looks very different, and it shows that yes, you have researched thoroughly about the college and how enthusiastic you are about college. So that was about the panelist 1 and the panelist 2 and all the questions that was being asked from me. Okay, so now here are some tips and tricks that help me get selected for Great Lakes Institute of Management. So the first and the foremost one is don't be over smart. So what I meant to say over is that when the question what is repo rate was being asked from me from panelist 1, I don't know the answer of the question at that moment. However, in order to say something, I just simply said anything, whatever I was able to recall at the moment. But the interviewer caught me and said, "You can't know everything, and even we don't expect even we don't expect everything from you to know." So at that moment, it was a kind of a negative impact for me. So here, my advice to you guys is simply, if you don't know any answer, there is nothing like you have a less chance of selection or anything or something like that. Simply say sorry sir, sorry ma'am, I don't know, or I'm not able to recall at the moment, instead of giving it a wrong answer. Okay, so the second tip is your answer should be short and concise. So when I was asked the question what all problems I faced during my internship, I answered the question. However, the answer went so long that the interview stopped me in between. So somehow I felt that it is a kind of negative impact. So you should keep in mind that your answer should be short and concise. However, it should cover all the points that the interviewer is expecting from you. Okay, so the third tip is whenever you are done with your interview, just simply say thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am, for having me, because I feel like it shows your respectful gesture. Okay, so the last tip is be very confident and try to be very good at your communication skills. So the interview doesn't expect you to answer every question, rather, they check how confident you are, how good you are at your communication skills, and how enthusiastic and energetic you are to get into their college. Okay, so these were the tips I felt like sharing with you guys that can help you. If you have any doubt, feel free to leave in the comment section. And if you want any HR answer streaming, you can book your slot via the link mentioned in the description below. All the best!